What up? There we go. I wonder if I could pull live up on top of my, like, always on the chat. What up, 90? What up? What up, Phantom? How you guys doing? What up? Um, yeah, can you guys hear me okay? Hey, bird. One second, I gotta shut my door. I'll be right back. There you go. You can get out now. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing today is a little bit of document review, but I'm also putting together a Google Doc with links to all of my sources that I've used, and then I'm going to be putting up all of the links to all of the court documents that I have up on my Patreon for free. Um, so you can just download them straight from there. And then I'm gonna make my sources document with like news articles and everything, like both links to the documents themselves from Court Listener and links to like Cornell Law and all of that stuff, all of the sources I've used in my videos. I'm gonna have that document public as well and put a link to it in my videos moving forward, just because the list of me citing all of my sources is getting like massive on every video. So I'm just going to put it all together in a document and then link that document, and then have my Patreon have all of the PDFs for the court case documents from on there for free. So if you want those, you guys can go there and download those as you need. And another thing I'm going to do is break up. There's a 213 page document that's pretty important. Let me pull it up so I could show you. This document right here. It is this Declaration of Junjian. This is 213 pages of information, and it has several documents within it. So I do want to I'm going to break this up into all of its components. So like the declaration itself, and then all of the exhibits I'm going to break up. Because the reason why it's so long is because there's like 10 exhibits in here. And I'm going to break up each exhibit and like put those up individually, so you don't have to like go sifting through the document, this 213 page document, to find what you're looking for. And then I'm going to have those to download individually on my Patreon as well. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. I'm also going to be looking through this a little bit, but yeah. And then I'm just going to be kind of talking and chilling while I work and hanging out. So if you guys have any questions or want to talk to me about anything, hit me up. But yeah, I'm going to post my live link real quick. Hold on, let me switch this over to Bird. My cat really wants to play. Weird. Ow. So I'm going to switch that over real quick because I want to take a look at something. Here we go. Hey, sweet, there's 10 people here. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, Phantom. Every time I go on my computer, my cat just screams at me, and then she has this thing where she jumps at my chair and then like smacks into my side with her paws and then runs away. It's super adorable, but it's sometimes she uses her claws and scratches the shit out of my side. It's pretty funny. Um, she's a little cutie. Yeah, so I'm gonna link this. And then I'll put this in dark and darker. Sweet. What's up, mister? How are you doing today? Is that Nick Gaming? Freaking rule, man. Um, yeah, so what up, bird? She wants to say hi and sit on my mouse, apparently. Hey, kitty. Um, so Eric, it's not exactly a new document. There's a 213-page document that I'm going to be dividing up. I've already went over part of it live on camera, live on stream, but I'm going to be reading more of it, and I'm going to be breaking it up into sections, and then I'm going to be posting a lot of documentation to my Patreon, and uh, so I'm going to have that up I'm going to be posting a lot of free stuff on my Patreon. Um, I gotta see how. 1 second. One second. Okay. So yeah, I'm basically just kind of working right now, and then going over some documents, and I'm going to be uploading them onto my Patreon and giving them away for free. Um, the court documents that I use, and then I'm going to be kind of condensing all of my sources into one like source document, and then giving that away for free as well. So everybody who's following along could just like click a link and then go through all of my sources and fact check me if need be, um, and kind of follow along that way. And then if like you follow along the document, I'm just going to keep adding to it as I find stuff. So like if I find something new, I'll just add it to the source document material, and you guys could follow along that way. And I'm going to have that up for free a link to that in my um, uh, YouTube, like my community, and I'm gonna have a link to it for free, and then I'm gonna have a link to it in probably my video descriptions. ASMR stream. That would be hilarious, especially since I I don't actually like the sound of my voice, but I guess that's kind of normal for people. I think it's hilarious that I keep getting compliments on the sound of my voice and saying that I should make ASMR. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Um, that is super funny. But yeah, let me get right to it. So what I'll do is I will switch this back to yep. And then so like if you guys want a link to the Patreon where I'm posting documents, you guys could I'll toss it up in here. And then yeah, Liam, I need Dark and Darker too. The new dungeon video looks sweet. That demon looked awesome. Um, somebody made a video that had like a lot of. Oh, you guys can't see anything, can you? Weird. Um, let me. Anybody with link can view, copy link. So I'll add that as well. Can you guys still not see stuff? There we go. There we go. I pulled a derp. There we go. Fixed. And then here is the link for the Google Doc video. Or the Google Doc. So these will be free. Do I have to link my YouTube for the Discord perks? What perks haven't you gotten yet? Nick Gaming. Let me look. Do you have your roles and everything yet? So Doctor Decimate. Can you send me a message on Discord? Because I would need to fix that. If the YouTube might not be doing it automatic, or I have a YouTube to Discord connection, and it might not be doing it already. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be updating these documents live. So for the complaint, um, and I will just kind of keep doing what I was doing. So I have the complaint. What else is important? I'm only gonna link that real like super important stuff because there's like a bunch of documents, and some of them just aren't really important, like this minute order. Um, like the civil cover sheet isn't super important. Like this just tells you what the case is, what they filed. It's a copyright case, and then original proceeding, and then all of the information. Actually, you know what? I'll just do it anyway. So this is the civil document sheet. Get rid of the Chrome extension stuff. There we go. Yeah, hit me up on Discord and I'll get you your roles and everything. I'll do it as soon as I can. I might be able to do it right now if you message me. So there we go. That might be why. Sorry guys, I'm gonna take care of this right now. There we go. There we go. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Um, Dirt McDirtman. What up, Zero Drago? Also, yes, hold the line, Murky. Hold the line always. Uh, we shouldn't have to wait much longer, honestly. Um, I think if we're lucky, we should have a lot of stuff cleared up. You know, like I said, like I've been saying, sometime between the 19th to like the 20th, and then depending on what happens in Korea, if they move forward with if they make a decision on the injunction on the 19th in Korea, then we'll have immediate info basically right after that, right? Especially if it favors Iron Mace. And then if they don't make a decision and that gets pushed back to August, because that is a possibility, then we'll know about the U.S. court case on the 26th for sure, because they can't push that back. And we are holding. Yeah, we're holding. I'm very optimistic about the outcome of these injunctions. Knock on wood. Um, yeah, let me keep working here. Attachment. So the summons aren't super important, but whatever. Uh, whose summon is this? Iron Mace summon. There we go. Yeah, so if you guys want to, so all this stuff I have access to, I'm gonna link this here as well. Because that has all of them. So this court listener link right here has all of the documentation, and then I usually use Pacer for like, if the if something drops, like see how this says buy on Pacer, I have a Pacer account and I have access to, um, like the actual database for, or not access to the database, but I have access to Pacer, which is where where this website gets all of its documentation from. So if something drops, like if I see something pop up on Court Listener, because there's a feed to a Discord that if something new drops on Court Listener, it pops up in the Discord, and then I just go directly to Pacer. I'll download it, and then it'll be available for everybody else. Um, so like if I click buy on Pacer and then continue to Pacer, I could log in and um, buy the document, and then if I think if enough people buy it, or if even if just one person buys it, it becomes free to use here. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but yeah. So this has most of the court documents, um, and I'm just kind of going through and pulling all the ones that Court Listener has access to, and then posting them to my own document, and adding like Korean news articles, U.S. news articles, and all kinds of stuff into that document as well. So there could be just like one public document with as much source information as possible, so that we could kind of stay up to date. So I only have to post this link to my YouTube channel, but it's also helpful to anybody who wants to follow along. No, Murky, there hasn't really been any big revelations yet. Um, yeah, Phantom, I don't really. Um, there's a reason why I'm not playing a video game right now, and I'm doing work. I'm doing work for like on the Dark and Darker court case essentially. Um, I can only play so much League of Legends. I do play the cycle, but it's getting shut down. Excuse me. I do play the cycle. The cycle's getting shut down. I'm gonna be buying Diablo 4 here pretty soon, and I'm gonna be playing that. But there's just not a lot of stuff that scratches that same itch. I don't have Tarkov. I thought about getting it, but I don't know if anybody here plays Tarkov. I've just heard a lot of uh, like my friends who have played Tarkov said that the Tarkov community is kind of shitty. So I've always been hesitant to get into it. Yeah, dude, the cycle that sucks. I used to play the cycle a lot. Um, I'm kind of bummed because I just got back into it and then they canceled it, right? Shutting down in September. And now, like, basically all of the cheaters just came back and are just dumping all of their gear and going crazy. It's nutty. Um, what did Richard say? Is it possible that the Korean court only grants a partial? Yeah, yeah. So Korea, the Korean injunction, um, it wouldn't be for Korea only. So there's ways that the court in Korea or the United States can modify, and they're called modified injunctions. Um, and what ends up happening is if a court like, and this is what happens. I would say probably 70% of the time there's an injunction. It What'll end up happening is an injunction will either get dismissed outright or a modified injunction will be put in place. Very, I wouldn't say very, but rarely will a judge in either the United States or Korea just outright ban people from doing stuff unless it's blatantly illegal, like on face value, without any kind of uh, unless it's a clear unless there's enough evidence that they clearly violated the law, and in IP cases that they clearly violated the person's copyright or trademark or whatever the intellectual property is. Um, because doing so say Nexon's injunction was to get approved. Essentially, what that does is kill Iron Mace's chances of making any money at all, right? So, and that's before it ever gets to trial, and they get or even discovery. So right now, putting an injunction in place against Iron Mace would be very detrimental to Iron Mace's business, and the courts know that, and um, it kind of it almost makes the trial meaningless, and puts it in and like devalues the fact finding, right? If that makes sense. Oh shit, Murky, that sucks. Battlebit any good? I haven't played Chivalry 2. Um, yeah, let me go through this. So Iron Mace summons, got that. That I'm not gonna get into those. Um, did I get the copyright? Civil document sheet complaint. Nope, I'll get the copyright. Wonder why Iron Mace hasn't filed a copyright for Dark and Darker unless they have. Um, Hold on, I'll be right back. There we go. Sorry about that. There's a big ass like pine forest right behind my house, and it's like 90 degrees outside. And when that happens, my allergies get crazy. So my nose was all like busted. 910th sub? I'm getting close. 90 more until 1,000. That's crazy. Thank you for subscribing, Strife. That's rad. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. I can't believe I went from like 300 subscribers um to I went from like less than 300 subscribers to almost 1,000 in the matter of like 2 or 3 weeks. It's crazy. I can't even understand what the heck is going on. This is crazy. Um, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, if you guys want me to stop and take a better look at any of these documents, just let me know. I'll go over some of the stuff. A lot of these are pretty small. Um, corporate disclosures. So yeah, this is just their information, so that's not super important. What is this? Report on the filing of determination of an action or appeal regarding a copyright. Or 1823. Oh, yeah. So this is when they claim the infringement of the copyright. So yeah, I will put that. Um, there we go. Motion for alternative service. So this is summons issued. Yeah, of course, Goober. Also, nice name. I'm just doing my best to try to make sure that everybody has as much information as possible. Um, when I mean, no, I got into P3 like the last day, or not P3, Dark and Darker on the last day of playtest 3, and like had only like a few hours to play it, and then I really went hard on playtest 4, went really hard on playtest 5, and obviously that's right around when all of this stuff started happening. So I got really interested in like what was the likelihood that Iron Mace would pull through, and I had friends who were lawyers, so I just started asking them a bunch of questions, and it just got me hooked on all this stuff. And I figured if I was going to be doing it myself, I might as well post online for like all of my friends and people who are interested to know about. And uh, yeah, apparently other people liked it as well. It's been crazy. You really wanted to play Dave the Diver? It looks interesting, but I think that what Nexon is doing is kind of shady. As far as buying out smaller studios and then just using them to kind of shadow publish games. Um, and then if you go to their websites, it just points back to Nexon anyway. So like they're not even really. It's basically just from the outside looking in. It looks like to me, it looks like Nexon is buying up smaller companies, stealing their IP, and then using them as shells to publish whatever they want. And to avoid the terrible reputation that they have, right? Um, it's what they did to Terrence's company. Uh, it's what they did with um, I believe they did the same thing with another company, and then Mint Rocket as well. But they've bought up a lot of subsidiaries over the past like 5 or 6 years. A lot of smaller companies, and then Thingiverse was Terry's company. So they did the same thing with Thingiverse. I think PopCap Games, and then now Mint Rocket. So they've been doing this for like maybe even up to upwards of like 10 years now, and have just basically been buying up all these smaller studios, stealing all of their good devs, stealing all of their IP, and then just basically dissolving the company and everything except for name, and then just publishing garbage through them. But Dave the Diver looked pretty good, you know. It just sucks because that might have been Mint Rocket's idea before Nexon got involved, and then Nexon probably fired half of the staff, took everybody that was good into Nexon, and then it's just using Mint Rocket to hide the fact that it's being developed by Nexon. It's shitty. Um, yeah, it sucks. Not Thingiverse. Thing something. I can't remember what it's called. I have it in a video. Thingsoft. I think it's Thingsoft. Sounds like Thingiverse, but I think it's Thingsoft. I can't remember. Um, but yeah, Terrence used to have his own. Him and a bunch of people had a development studio, and Nexon bought it, and then they pulled Terrence into Iron Mace and basically shut down the development studio and published like one or two more things under their name before they just dissolved it entirely. So this isn't new. This isn't a new practice to them, and it's just kind of shady. Because if I was a small studio and Nexon said, "Hey, we'll give you guys like $20 million to buy your studio out, along with all of your IP and your employment contracts," um, it'd be hard to pass something like that up if the studio hadn't been super successful yet, right? If your studio is barely making it and barely making it a return on investment, it would just be super hard to pass that up, and they know that. Um, motion for miscellaneous relief. Have I looked at this yet? Email motion to serve process. Oh, yeah. This is the alternative service, I think. Yeah, alternative service. Okay, cool. What up, Pablo? Thanks for all your comments, man. It really helps. All the comments and the discussion that's been happening on the videos really helps. Yeah, Phantom, it happens a lot. Um, so something like that happened with Bethesda and Obsidian, except it was a little bit different. So what ended up happening was, um, I have a friend who worked on basically Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Um, I think New Vegas is the one that he put me and my friend in, Verl. But he, what ended up happening is that they got bought out, or there was some kind of agreement. And then what ended up happening is that they basically fired everybody, and then it said we're going to rehire you guys all back on, but as subcontractors. And they just 1099'd everybody as private contractors, and said here's the wage that we'll accept on your contract, which was their old wage. But now they don't get any of the benefits from. They don't have any benefits, and they have to pay their own taxes, and they're subcontracted out. It was pretty shitty. Legacy, I think early access might come out if everything kind of goes in Nexon or in Iron Mace's favor. I think that early access we could see early access as soon as like July 27th. If not, then we might see it sometime like mid-August when stuff starts getting resolved in Korea, unless it gets resolved like sooner, and because there is a chance that the court in Korea can decide on the injunction case, the preliminary injunction case, in on July 19th. So if the Korean injunction case gets decided on July 19th, at least a preliminary decision, then we might get early access by like July 20th, you know? Um, but if they push it back because the courts over there can say that they don't have enough evidence or they haven't had enough time to deliberate, and they could push it back 30 days, which would push it back to August 19th, and that would be when we'd find out about the injunction. That'd be the latest that we would find out about the injunction. Battlegrounds 3? Um, let me. So I did the motion from the. What is the proposed order? Okay, yeah, this is alternative service. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate freaking rules. Yeah, I've had early access for Baldur's Gate 3. I forgot that that's coming out in August. Um, I've had the early access since the day early access launched. I gotta play that. I gotta play Baldur's Gate 3 super early at a after party at PAX. So like I kind of knew when early access was gonna come out in advance, and yeah, I got it day one that it was up for sale. Essentially, long story short is that I had the perks. I used to help out at booths for. I still do, but less so since COVID. But I used to help out at booths for video game companies like Tiny Booth and Thunderful and um, what was the other one? Tiny Build, Thunderful, and the guy who made Fogs. Can't remember. I have their merch and I did like 6 shows for them. Whatever. But yeah, I used to help. So like if say a company from the UK or Europe needs something shipped to America for like PAX or Gamescom or something, um, I help facilitate the US supply side of it. Like, or if they need a place, like I've even had some of their employees stay at my house. My friend works at a gaming studio over there, and he whenever he comes, like I've had him and his coworkers stay at my house, and then like I'll just take all their mail into my house, and like say they need like a 30-foot cloth banner delivered somewhere in the United States, I'll just take it and then hold on to it until they get here. That way they don't have to pay like astronomical fees to the venues themselves for storage. And then if they need stuff shipped out after they leave, so instead of them like lugging home a 30-foot cloth banner to use in a German convention, uh, and paying like $100 for just to have another suitcase, then I'll just ship it from here to like their warehouse in the EU from uh, somewhere local. Article 17. Yeah. So this is the summons against Terry. A lawsuit has been filed against you within 21 days after service of the summons on you, not counting the day you received it, or 60 days if you are United States or United States agency, or an officer or employee of the United States described under federal rules of civil procedure. 12, section 12, paragraph A, 2, or 3. You must serve on the plaintiff to answer the attached complaint under motion rule 12, the federal rules of civil procedure. The answer or motion must be served to plaintiff or plaintiff attorney. So yeah, it's just basically, if you're tell to respond to this judgment, by default will be entered against you for the relief demanded in the complaint. And then proof of service. Yeah, this is pretty standard. What I am interested in is this. The declaration of this I haven't read yet. The declaration of James S. Blackburn. I don't think I've read this. So this is Nexon's side of the story. So this is I'm going to read through this real quick. Cool. I'm a partner at law firm Arnold, Porter, and Kale. Scholler. Negation. Statement made below to the true. Yep. On March 22nd, I sent a takedown notice on request on behalf of Nexon. Valve removed the game on March 25th. This has a copy of the DMCA. Sweet. I've already read through that a billion times. Oh, they sent a cease and desist letter to Iron Mace on March 23rd. So after they sent the takedown notice, they sent a cease and desist to Iron Mace. That's pretty standard, but I didn't know they actually sent one. Yeah, CRPGs are pretty rad, Phantom. Wait, it comes out on August 3rd, Legacy? So, like, literally 30 days from now? That's rad. A true and correct copy of Iron Mace cease and desist letter is attached. Okay, cool. And then he sent one to Mr. Choi and didn't receive any bounce back notice. and they sent a hard copy certified mail to his home address, and then to Iron Mace as well. Then they filed the lawsuit on April 14th. April 17th, they sent a letter to LIN via email. April 20th, they received the counter to the DMCA. So all checks out. The consent to the jurisdiction of Western Washington. That's kind of damaging, because if they've already consented as of April 20th, there might be a conflicting issue with the dismissal, because they've already consented as of the 20th. Accept services from process of the person who submitted takedown notice. Okay. They sent him a bunch of tweets, apparently, or they DM'd him on Twitter. $150 million. What? Oh, it's saying that. What Discord is. Reporter confirmed. Iron Mace. Okay, yep. Nexon believes that Choi is associated with SDF social media accounts because SDF is the same ID that is used in Choi's business email address, sdf@ironmace.com. That is listed on his business card. Oh, so that's how the SDF got confirmed as Mr. Choi. So this is the declaration of James S. Blackburn. So that's the lawyer for Nexon in the U.S. case. I've never read through his statement, his official court statement. Oh, Nexon Park is KRASP 78. So Terrence is Crasp or Crapst 78. TS Park backwards? That's hilarious. Terrence S. Park backwards. So yeah, one's just Terrence and then one is TSP. Oh yeah, so it's just KRAPST 78. And then the other one's yeah, just Terrence. And they sent messages to both. March 29th, defendants posted a statement on Discord by Park as Terrence. Notice response to copyright infringement claims, list of assets. Oh, and get logs, yeah. So I think we all remember that. And then they said there is Exhibit A through H. This is what I'm interested in. So this is the DMCA. I've already read through this a billion times. Exhibit B, Okay, so this is their copyright stuff. So this is all the copyrights for all their classes. But if you notice here, it says thief instead of rogue. They changed this later. They changed this after the lawsuit has already started. They changed thief to rogue in their copyright, which is pretty shitty and sneaky to do. This seems like a form of doxing. No, this is publicly available court documentation. We're just looking at files submitted by the court. So this is the misconduct of Mr. Choi regarding unauthorized disclosure of P3 project data. So we already know all this stuff. The comparison, we saw this. Saw this. So Nexon conducted a comparative analysis of Dark and Darker with the P3 game. Not third party. Nexon did their own investigation already. And they want $100,000. On conduct make it liable to Nexon for substantial damages, including statutory damages of up to $150,000 for willful copyright infringement, in addition to attorney's fees and other costs incurred by Nexon to enforce this right. What? Weird. Did I already grab this? What was this? What is this called? This was just attachment 1. So what I'll do is yeah, if you guys want me to look over anything specifically, just to let me know. And I will pause and what I'm doing and read through stuff specifically. Some of this stuff is older. Seems like a form of doxing. Yeah, Strife, we're just looking at court documents, going through some stuff, reading some court documentation, and I'm trying to basically collect all of the documentation and PDFs into one spot, and I'm going to download a folder of them, and I'm going to make them all publicly available, as well as the document uh, with the descriptions and links all together. Um, I'm also going to do I'm going to scrub through all of the videos that I have, and live videos, and take all of the links to Korean media, like news media articles, and post them inside the same document. And then I'm going to have that up for free on my Patreon and YouTube membership, for free. And then I'll just leave those public so people could go look at them. But yeah, you can find most of the stuff on Court Listener pretty easily. So the reason why them agreeing, or the reason why Iron Mace agreeing to the, basically, in order to refute a DMCA, you have to essentially agree to the upcoming lawsuit, that, and say that I am going to fight this in court. Um, because in a DMCA, you basically say, shut this down, or we're taking this to court in this district. And then the response is basically saying, I'm not shutting it down. You stop DMCAing me, and if you don't, I'll see you in this court, right? You kind of accept that you're going to go to court. And you specifically accept that you're going to go to court in that jurisdiction, which Nexon chose Washington. I think that's because that's the same district that Valve is in. Um, so they already accepted the U.S. court case as being legitimate by responding to the DMCA. The issue with that is that within the deadline that Iron Mace had to respond to the DMCA, Nexon hadn't responded to Iron Mace's court case in Korea. So the only ongoing legal battle was an injunction request from Iron Mace against Nexon that Nexon hadn't responded to yet. So there was no merged case. There was no actual case yet. There was just a complaint with no actual answer in Korea. So what Nexon did is kind of shady, because they didn't give Iron Mace an opportunity to refute the DMCA. Because if they don't refute the DMCA, Iron Mace or Nexon basically wins automatically. What up, Day Day? Thanks for stopping by. I hope that answers your question. Zero. And the reason why our Iron Mace is trying to, the way Iron Mace is trying to dismiss the U.S. court case relies on the fact that there is already an existing U.S. or Korean court case that should take precedent, not only contractually but because of the way the WIPO and WTO work. When will the video for this be up? I'm gonna make a short, probably like 5-minute video explaining where. I mean, the live stream itself will be up in full directly after the live stream, but I'm gonna make like a short, like 3 to 5 minute long video explaining what the documents I'm making right now and where to find them. And that'll probably be up maybe tomorrow. The documents are already live. The documents are already live, so I'll post a link to the Google Doc if you guys want it. Or yeah. So yeah, here's a. So the link that I just posted is the Google Doc that I'm working on, and you guys could go view it and click on stuff and check it all out for yourself. But yeah, I'm just kind of going through Court Listener right now and cataloging everything important that I've used in my videos, and Basically giving everybody kind of a way to fact check me. Fact check me. Damn it! I need another drink. It's like 90 degrees outside, and my AC is not happy. And then I am also putting stuff up for free on my Patreon. Why is that not? There we go. So I left off at Exhibit A. So this is the alternative service. So what is this? This is the hell just happened. There we go. I'm gonna download this real quick. So what I'm gonna do is I have a bunch of files. If you, I'm downloading all of the PDFs while I go through them and add them to the document, and then I'm gonna add those all to my Patreon for free. So if you guys want if you guys want to download the PDFs directly, go to my Patreon and I'll have those up probably by the end of today. And then if you guys want to just go and you guys want to read through them, and you want the links and descriptions of what they are, then you could just go to that document and click on those. And then if you guys want me to stop anywhere and read something out specifically, let me know. I am, once I get to this one, the Declaration of Injunctions. I'm probably murdering that name, but I'm going to read through that once I get to that. Because I want to, this thing is 213 pages. I'm going to separate it into different documentation because it has like 20 different documents in it. And I'm going to break it apart and then list those individually. Where was I? Right here. So then this is the affidavit of summons and complaint. So this is just them saying that they actually summoned them. That Nexon summoned Iron Mace. Notice of appearance. So this is when they start adding more lawyers. Prince of Litigation, Iron Mace. So yeah, that notice of, or this is when they appear. Yeah, this is only like 3 pages. This is just them just saying that they're going to show up to port. Um, this is all of that, all their new Iron Mace attorneys. So Aaron J. Moss is saying, yeah, he's going to make it. Joshua M. Geller saying that he's going to make it. Emily G. Evasian is going to show up. Um, and then here's where the court accepts Aaron J. Moss. Court accepts Joshua Geller. Uh, court accepts Emily G. Evasian. And then here's where the judge gets switched. So this would be the. Oh, cool. This is what they filed to both parties. This case has been assigned to the United States Magistrate Judge Michelle L. Peterson for all purposes. And then this one says, I decline consent and request the case be assigned to a district judge. Somebody might have declined, either Iron Mace or Nexon. So this is all parties sent out from the deputy clerk. Interesting. Motion to dismiss. So yeah, if you guys want um this Google Doc where I'm posting all the relevant information I've used and what I'm looking over, I have links in the comments. Why can't I see my comments anymore? But yeah, does anybody have any questions or want me to stop and read anything? So this is where stuff starts getting important. This is the stuff that we've been reading over recently. So this is Declaration of Aaron J. Moss. And then this is the huge one. Yeah, page 1 of 213. So this is the one that I'm going to stop once I have all this stuff downloaded and filed, like organized, the PDFs. Then I'm going to try to break this apart into separate sections. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to read through some stuff for anybody who has any questions. Let me close that. And then close this. I don't really need that anymore either. Mr. Choi's declaration. Damn it. Why did I do that? Whoa. Then here's the minutes assigning the new judge. What else do I need? I don't really care about the standing order. Let me see. I'm going to check Pacer real quick, guys. You guys want to see Pacer? I haven't reached out to Aaron Moss yet. Also, what's up, Stephen Click? I haven't reached out to Aaron yet. There's a lot of information that I have that Um, I've messaged Terry, SDF, and Grayson about. Actually spoke with the guys from Iron Mace about a possible project that I wanted to work on with them, but that kind of fell through because we didn't know how it would work out. But yeah, I've sent messages to those guys to see, and they might need it, but they have a lot of information on their own. Their lawyers are super good, and then they're kind of keeping an eye on a lot of this stuff already. So I might send Aaron Moss, just send him an email and say, hey, look, here's some information that I have. If you don't have it already, glad I could help, right? But I'm gonna kind of wait until I have more information. I don't want to. I'd rather give him one big ass info dump than send him 20 emails. You know. if that makes sense. But I have reached out to several YouTube lawyers that that are copyright lawyers, copyright and IP lawyers, um, to see if we could get a collaboration going, because my lawyer friends don't really want to be on camera and they don't really want me mentioning their names, because if they're wrong about anything, they don't want to look bad. Um, I highly doubt they are. They're all good lawyers, but everybody makes mistakes and they don't want their mistakes being made public. So I am looking for YouTube lawyers to do collaborations with, and I've had a response from a patent attorney, a patent lawyer, that knows about the case, but they basically said they're kind of just going to say the same thing that my friends are saying, and it's not in their wheelhouse, and they don't want to be like, they're lawyers. They don't want to act in a lawyer capacity and be wrong, and have that recorded. So they declined to do the collaboration until they could do a lot more research. So, and consult with people. But yeah, I'm trying to get that kind of stuff down. Aaron Moss is a rock star. Aaron J. Moss is a freaking, he's rad. He's a good lawyer. Everything I've looked into him has said that he's been a pretty amazing lawyer. There we go. Hopefully that makes it sound a little bit better. But yeah, let's look into this. Boom. Yeah, I really want to. So I want to. What is happening here? There we go. I want to give you guys the most truthful and unbiased content that I can. I have a personal bias. I know I have a personal bias towards Iron Mace. I really like them. I think they're cool people. I like their mission statement. I like what they've done with Dark and Darker, and I like what they're doing, and their community that they've built is amazing. So I know that I'm super biased towards them, or in favor of them. So I would like to have outside opinions come in and give their statements and kind of bounce ideas uh, and hypotheticals and opinions off of each other, and then just kind of dig through the facts together and see what means what, with experts who aren't afraid of making statements on camera. Because I could say that my friends are lawyers, I could say I'm talking to whoever I want, but unless you guys see it on camera, or you guys see some kind of verification of who these people are, um, that's just kind of like hearsay, right? I would much rather have a face to the words. And since my friends aren't really willing to get on camera with me or to call in for, you know, to do that kind of stuff, I think the best bet would be to work with somebody who's actually already on YouTube that could benefit from, expanding their user base a little bit, their viewership. I would love to get Legal Eagle on this. I know he's not a copyright lawyer, but that dude has a huge following. Even if he just started looking into the case, I think that'd be rad. But yeah, let's look into this. So I've already read through this, did a video about this document itself. This is the Nexon's. This is the declaration from Iron Mace's Korean lawyer. and I've already read through this, but I haven't. So page 11 through so this is a reason for application. Is this all still the same document? So 39. So I guess I could go towards 20. So 51. So 11 to 52. No, because I'm going to save this as a different document. So that would be 11 to 56. Okay, cool. So I'm going to download. So what I'm going to do is print. Here's how I do this. Print, and then pages 11. And this will be the application for temporary injunction. So I'm going to download that, separate that out. So this is a certified translation that was translated by the Court of Washington. When this guy submitted it for his declarations, he cited it as proof for why uh, the lawsuit in Korea was moving forward. So this is a declaration from Korea that, or this is the application for temporary injunction in Korea. Um, so this is a Korean document from the Korean case, and that's been translated by the court. So I'm going to take a look through that. I just want to make sure that I have it in my files. I am application for temporary injunction. Here we go. Let me switch that. Why is the text black? Weird. Whatever. What's better, the black and white, or yeah, Phantom? I think I have seen some like Reddit lawyers. Um, I haven't seen any like lawyer videos on YouTube that have like went over or covered this, like from actually people that are like reputable, um, that I know of. Um, all I've really seen is Reddit lawyers, and a lot of them, they speak in a lot of vague terms and may or may not even be lawyers. So I would just take all that stuff with a grain of salt. Um, but what they should know is that claiming to be a lawyer is illegal. So if they aren't lawyers and they are claiming to be lawyers and they're giving out legal, uh, what amounts to legal advice, that could get them disbarred, and they would know that. So, or it could get them in trouble if they're not actually lawyers. So it's hard to say whether or not they actually are. I, for some of them, I doubt it, because they're just blatantly wrong. And then some of them are like pretty spot on, but they leave everything super vague intentionally so they won't get in trouble. But that's kind of on par for the course with most lawyers. Um, so what is Exhibit 2? Oh, so this would be 57. I'm going to make this smaller. So this is Nexon's temporary injunction request. And it's 570119. Yeah, I would love to see some like actual lawyers talk about this. Um, outside of the people that I know, and Reddit lawyers, I would like to see anybody who's willing to state their opinion, like a lawyer that's willing to state their opinion and make the claim that they are a lawyer on YouTube. Um, is usually going to be pretty vague, but they're also going to do their research first because it's being documented a lot. It's being documented on the internet, right? So there's not really a reason for like they could get in a lot of trouble if they mess up. Um, so I tend to trust that a little bit more. So, what is Exhibit 3? So, this is the Korean version of the employment contract, I believe. No, this is a Korean version of the Iron Mesa's declaration in Korea. So Exhibit 4 would be the U.S. annual salary contract. So that's 204 to 206. Print. To a 4 to 206. And then confirmation of rights regarding work-related IP is 207 to 209. Oh, so they have one of Terrence's contracts, but they don't have the other. So they don't have his employment agreement, but they do have his IP one. That's a little sus. So this is Exhibit 6. So this is page 210 to 213. But they wrote the date in by hand as April 13th, 2018. Did they do the same thing on Mr. Choice? No, they didn't. April 13th, 2018. That is super fucking sus. Anybody else seeing this? Handwritten in. This is gone. So if you look at Mr. Choi's, It has April 13th, 2018. Date of birth, name, signed with a seal. So I believe this is the seal. And then this is Terrence's, and there's no seal over here. So Terrence's, oh no, here's the seal, that seal. And then here's, why is that dated the same day? Did they start work on the same day? They didn't. Why is his in writing? So what this is so at the bottom of this 213 page document, I have, here, I'll make this smaller. So these are court translated and approved documents. We have the confirmation of rights regarding work-related intellectual property. So the IP contract for Nexon that Mr. Choi and Terrence both signed. But what I just found is that if you look at the bottom of Mr. Choi's, which we know is legitimate, but Terrence says he doesn't have any copies of his, and he remembers signing something but doesn't have any copies of it. And he said, I think he said that he doesn't know if Nexon has the copies either. So what we're looking at, these translations that came out a few days ago, like a week ago, if you look at the bottom of where their signature is, Mr. Choi's, who we know is legitimate, has the date in type, right? April 13th, 2018. So it's typed into the document. This is a copy of the Korean document, and it's typed in. It also has the sign typed in as well. So the seal is typed in as well. But if you go down to Terrence's, so this one is Terrence's right here, Exhibit 6. So this is Mr. Park, so Terrence. If you go to his, the date is in pen, and it matches Mr. Choi's start on date for some reason. And the seal is also in pen. So the seal isn't typed where it should be, like it is here, and it's typed in Mr. Choi's. And the date isn't typed. It's in pen, and it's the same date as Mr. Choi's. Is their birthday the same? Does that January 19th, 1984, and then this says November 1st, 1978. So that's just a little sus. No, the company added this contract after buying off the company that Choi worked under. Did Choi work for another company that um that Nexon purchased? Because I know Terrence did. I know Terry did. Yeah, Park. So Park worked for a company that I believe it was called ThingSoft, and they Nexon bought them out. Yeah, I just doxed Terry and SDF's birthdays. Whose birthday's coming up? One of them's in November, right? Yeah, so Terrence's birthday is in November, November 1st. We could wish him a happy birthday. Uh, we missed SDS. His is January 19th, 1984. He's barely older than I am. We're almost the same age. So, um, I mean, that would make sense, but it doesn't. So, like, if the contracts were enforced on the same day and were both already working there on the same day, then, like, that would make sense. Hey, everybody, you guys need to sign this new contract. Um, but what doesn't make sense is Terrence claiming that his was lost and then it being in this documentation. I mean, Nexon could have still had it, could have still retained the copy. He said he did sign something. Um, but the funny thing is that his date is written in, and so is his seal. It's super strange. Do I partake in the devil's lettuce? No, I do not. I used to very heavily. I haven't in some time. So I also used to grow this stuff. Some insight into my history. Sorry if I'm shaking my leg. Might shake the camera. Um, no, I used to though. My partner does. It helps with her epilepsy. I'm a very big fan. Yeah, but I'm basically sober now. I haven't drank. I mean, I still drink on occasion, but very rarely, and I don't smoke weed anymore. There you go. Uh, yeah, I used to smoke when I was younger. I haven't in probably like 10 years now. Realistically, yeah. Like, I mean, I probably smoked like 4 times in the last 10 years. I'm not like uh, super strict sober or anything. None of that. Welcome back. Yeah, that is a little strange. I wonder. I mean, it's nothing to get super suspicious of. I highly doubt they would forge a contract, but I wonder why this is written on Terry's and then so his seal is written in as well. But we've already read over this. What we haven't read over was the Korean applications for injunctions. How many pages is 46? This one's 63. Oh no, this is so. Hold on, I gotta rename this. So, so this is Iron Mace. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, so Iron Mace's request. So Exhibit 2. We read the Nexon version of this. This one is 63 pages. This is Iron Mace's response. And they're asking for 1,000,000 Korean won. How much money is that? Anybody know offhand? Heck yeah, Ryan. Thanks for the sub. Should be around 800K US. So yeah, 1,000,000. I'm gonna look that up. Um, that seems low. Oh, it's 100 million. Oh yeah, okay. That makes a lot more sense. Add 2 zeros. So it's $80,000 per violation if my math is correct. 80K. Yeah, so I think it's $80,000 per violation though. So anytime they interfere with anytime Nexon, so should Iron Mace win the injunction fight in Korea, Nexon would have to pay them $80,000 every time they do anything that interferes with Iron Mace's business. So Nexon would have to give them 80 grand every single time. And then in this case, in this document, the 63 pages, I might have to break this apart. The obliger would be Nexon, and the obligee would be Iron Mace. So, yeah. So this basically says, we seek a decision that Nexon shall not engage in any acts listed in separate sheet that interferes with Iron Mace's Dark and Darker game services business. The bailiff shall publicly post the purpose of paragraph 1 in the inappropriate manner. If Nexon violates the order set out in paragraph 1, they shall pay 100, or wait, that's a billion, not 100 million. Yeah, a billion Korean won per violation. Holy shit! So it is 800 grand. Yeah, it's nine. It's nine. There's nine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a billion Korean won, not 100 million. So that's $800,000. That's insane. Per violation. The cost of litigation shall be borne to Nexon. So this is How many paragraphs? 6. And then the conclusion? Okay, cool. So if Iron Mace wins, Nexon has to stop messing with them, or every time they violate it, they get almost $1 million, 800 grand. So to be more specific, it's 768,800 or $768,683 as of today's value. That's insane. Per violation. Dude, Iron Mace is going hard on Nexon. That's nuts. That's bonkers. I was like 80 grand, that's not terrible. But nope. Missed a zero. 800 grand. So Iron Mace was founded on October 20th, 2021. Is a company engaged in a game software development, supply, and service business, and is a rights holder that developed the game Dark and Darker and holds all rights, including copyright related to it. They uploaded the game to a publishing platform called Steam for a test run. During the test run, the game gained sensational popularity like a whirlwind among Steam users around the world, with approximately 2 million unique users. So people always question like where I get this $100 million amount from, and it's from this. 2 million unique users, and their plan is to sell it for anywhere from $20 to $40. So 2 million unique users by $40 is $80 million. That's just in sales. If they do any in-store purchases over the course of a year, like that's easily $100 million. In just sales, not like take-home revenue, right? See Exhibit 1, Dark and Darker box office records. Approximately 100,000 concurrent users, making Dark and Darker a game that was destined for massive box office success upon release. Iron Mace is now fully prepared to release Dark and Darker. So they're saying that they are fully prepared to release. As of whenever this was submitted, 6/22/23. So they are fully prepared, according to Korean law and perjury. They are fully prepared to release the game. So, I really do think that Iron Mace is confident that they will get EA. I am actually pretty confident that EA will drop. And I am cautiously optimistic that early access will drop in the next 24 to like 50 days. But yeah, they're still developing. They're probably already on past where they wanted to be with early access as far as development, at least in my opinion. I'm not certain. I'm not a part of Iron Mace. I'm not. But according to this, they were already in a position to develop as of 6/22, and it's well past that now. I mean, it's like a week past that. So like the demon and stuff, they probably didn't even have ready. They probably didn't even have planned until after early access had already started. So all the stuff that they're doing now is just early access stuff that we're gonna get when it drops. So if anything, we're going to have a better early access now because of this lawsuit. It's just going to be delayed. They were planning to release on Steam and other gaming platforms, but Nexon's business obstruction has made this impossible to accomplish now. Nexon is a company established in December 1994, engaged in the production and distribution of game development software, etc., and conducted a game development project named P3 around August 2020, hereinafter referred to as P3 Project. And the game that was to be developed in the P3 project is referred to as P3 Game. And discontinued P3 project as of July of 2021. So the Iron Mace is claiming that the P3 game, maybe not the project, but the game specifically. Oh no, the P3 project and the P3 game were both discontinued. Oh no, never mind, just the project entirely. Yeah, so hereinafter referred to as P3 project, and the game that would be developed P3 project is referred to as P3 game. So P3 game is associated to P3 project, of course, and this is all in brackets. So project name P3 that was discontinued in July 2021. They don't give a date, an exact date, but around July 2021. And if you remember back to Nexon's version of this, Mr. Choi was fired sometime around July 2021. Business obstruction. When the game Dark and Darker became a huge hit among Steam users around the world, which even Nexon could not admit or could not have predicted. No, which Iron Mace could not have even predicted. Nexon suddenly sent a warning letter to the executives and Iron Mace of employees of Iron Mace, Terry Park and Mr. Choi, who are not parties to this application, through a large American law firm on March 23rd, 2023, stating that the reproduction, distribution, and transmission of Dark and Darker infringes on Nexon's copyright. In particular, warning letters sent to Mr. Choi and Mr. Choi's home, and the warning of letters. So this is part of the cease and desist, telling them to stop distribution of everything, remove the test version of the game from Steam. Oh, so they also ordered them to preserve all evidence related to Dark and Darker and all related acts that Iron Mace has done for the creation of Dark and Darker. Okay, makes sense. Cease and desist, normal cease and desist stuff. But they actually immediately cease and desist all further development. Testing, production, reproduction, publishing, provision, distribution, transmission, display, performance, advertising, licensing, and sale of the material and the game created for misappropriation of infringement. So they want them to shut down the Discord, the website, everything. Nexon does. That's bonkers. Yeah, nothing is mentioned about the reason for discontinuing. What up, Cat with an AK? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, if early access comes out, it'll most likely stay out. Fiseb. The only way it would get taken down is with a Nexon appeal going through for the injunction. But usually, what happens in the case of appeals like that, the injunction will just be modified. Very rarely will something that's already released be taken down. I know in Apple versus Samsung, they had to stop selling their phones, but everybody who already had the phone was still allowed to get service. So basically what would happen is, like, if early access came out and we all bought early access, Iron Mace can still keep the servers open and keep providing the service to the product we bought because we already purchased it, but they would have to take it off of Steam, and new people wouldn't be able to buy it, right? So that's usually how that type of stuff plays out, because like, so say they get their 2 million sales for early access, and then by somehow Nexon manages to get an appeal that says, okay, you have to stop selling Dark and Darker. Um, Usually what'll happen is like all the stuff, people who already bought it would still get the game, and Nexon would, or Iron Mace would still be able to service those people. They just couldn't sell any new copies. And also, Nexon would have to put up a massive bond for lost sales. Spooky Pillow! What up, dude? I have this guy on some of my stream videos. I did a video that kind of covered that they're lying. What they're pulling. I know that One Peg did a video, but I'm looking over the Iron Mace declaration, the Korean Iron Mace declaration right now for the injunction. That'll probably have, if Iron Mace have called them out on their lies in court, it'll be in this for sure. But it's 63 pages. I don't know if I'm going to read all of it on, at least right now. I might break this up into like a two-parter. Go through some more of it tomorrow. So on March 22nd, one day before sending the above warning letter, Nexon sent a notice of copyright infringement and misappropriation of trade secrets to Valve Corporation, so a DMCA. Okay, we already know that. Excerpt from the DMCA. Nexon's request, Valve took the link to the webpage on Steam where Iron Mace was preparing to launch, so that game can no longer access. So that, yeah, users can no longer access Dark and Darker game page. Notably, Iron Mace has not taken any legal action to date alleging copyright infringement by Nexon, other than filing a lawsuit in 2021 against Mr. Choi, alleging trade secrets infringement because anyone Dark and Darker game does not infringe on. Okay, yeah. In other words, Nexon is sneakily obstructing Iron Mace's business by sending warning letters, etc., to third parties while avoiding legal disputes. Super true. As of the time of writing this, Nexon's actions are clearly intentional towards business obstruction, and that they have no objective basis other than Iron Mace's suspicions and speculations about copyright infringement, or Nexon's suspicions of copyright infringement. In its warning letter, Nexon provides a lengthy explanation of the basis for its alleged copyright infringement, but as shown in 3, the unreasonableness of Nexon's P3 game copyright infringement claim below, it is all one-sided allegations without any rational business or rational basis. So this is all just kind of them talking, saying that Nexon's being dumb. Yeah, how am I doing? Whoa, there's 33. So what's EA ETA? Zach, my so there's 2 time periods that I think EA will come out. I think that it'll come out either um, sometime around July 20th to July 27th, or we'll at least know more about if EA is going to come out around then. And if the Korean case gets pushed back to August, it might get if the Korean injunction gets pushed back to August, like the middle of August, then it might come out around the middle of August. But I do think that we see it, yeah, before September. I think for sure. I would say probably no later than like August 22nd. We'll at least know if it's going to come out or not by August 22nd at like the latest, in my opinion. 22nd, 23rd. If not already be out by then. But yeah, I think Cocor's right. Yeah. I think that they're right. We'll see it before September for sure. At least in my opinion. Where can what be found, Meep? This document? So I have a link. Let me get the link. I'll post the link to the Google Doc. So this is the Google Doc that I'm making with all of my sources on it. And this document specifically is the declaration of Untitled, and it is article or exhibit 2. So that will be on page 57 of 213 in that document. I've just separated it out and saved it. Where was I? There we go. Copyright is a quasi-property right, and the Copyright Act provides the copyright holder has exclusive and unrestricted right to exercise the moral rights of the author set forth in Articles 11. Hold on one second. I think my girlfriend said something on the walkie-talkies. Okay, I have been summoned to dinner. I'm gonna finish this paragraph right here, and then I'm gonna probably pop off, eat some food, and then I'll probably actually come back on in a little bit. But yeah, so what they're doing is explaining copyright. Copyright is a quasi-property right, and the Copyright Act provides the copyright holder has the exclusive and unrestricted right to exercise the moral rights of the author set forth in Article 11 through Article 13, and the copyright property rights set forth in Articles 16 through 22 of the Act. Iron Mace's Dark and Darker game is copyrighted work and an achievement made by Iron Mace with considerable investment and effort, and Iron Mace has the right to freely conduct business activities utilizing such Dark and Darker game, which is a right worthy of protection under law. Therefore, if another person interferes with Iron Mace's business or free business activities using the Dark and Darker game, resulting in a direct infringement of Iron Mace's interest, it is a tort under civil law, and Iron Mace may seek to prohibit or prevent the business obstruction. So what this is basically saying is that until Nexon, what this argument is doing is basically saying that until Nexon can prove in court that Dark and Darker is infringing on their copyright of P3, then then Dark and Darker is fully protected under Korean law, and probably the United States law under the Copyright Act of both countries, and that that Nexon is kind of doing things out of order, right? They haven't established whether Dark and Darker is actually in violation of the copyright in any court. But they've went ahead and moved forward with a lawsuit and DMCA in the United States before it's ever been even proven in Korea, right? So they don't even know if the game if Dark and Darker or NP3 are even related. There's just an assumption on the behalf of Nexon. It also basically says that because Iron Mace made Dark and Darker in full, that they own all the rights to it, and Nexon doesn't have the right to interfere with their business unless they could prove that Iron Mace is doing something illegal. If that makes sense. At least that's what I get from it. If I had to put money on it, Jordy, I would say that it'll probably settle, and it'll probably settle sometime during the early case conference or discovery period. So probably the next few weeks to few months they'll probably end up in a settlement. I have a feeling like that settlement will end up going in Iron Mace's favor a little bit, but I still think it'll cost Iron Mace a pretty hefty chunk of change. But yeah, I think that early access will be able to release. I think we're going to see some kind of modified injunction happen that allows early access to come out, where Iron Mace probably has to put a bond up. And then Iron Mace will be able to release Dark and Darker. But should they lose the case, then Iron Mace's bond will go to Nexon, and it'll probably be a bunch of money. And then obviously, what happens from there is up to the judge. But I think Iron Mace would win eventually if this were to play out. But I do think that it'll settle. And I think that we'll see early access happen before then. I think really the settlement agreement comes down to whether or not the injunction goes in Iron Mace's favor or Nexon's favor. But I am fairly certain that we will see some kind of modified injunction happen that leans either towards Iron Mace or towards Nexon. But there's if you just look at statistics, there's anywhere from 80 to 97% chance that this case will be settled outside of court, just statistically. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the outcome of this. I'm gonna go eat dinner. I don't want my dinner to get cold. And then I'll probably pop back on and finish reading some of that document. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming out. Thanks for jumping on live. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for subscribing. I'll be on again. I do plan on streaming more. I want to stream at least probably 3 times a week and do a video every other day. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat and then I'll be back. You guys have a wonderful night. Peace.